The smoke clears the air. I'm the only one standing. The darkness lurks. There lies the freedom in front of me. So I will start on this day. The rise of kingdoms to come, and we will no longer be named by the weather above. So rain down all you want, but our power is in the sun. And when our planets do align, our nation will become victorious.
Let it be, all that weakness, rest in peace. I learned about the recipe when I was younger, recklessly. Now I'm chasing the glory, gonna be fine. Working so hard, matter of time. Never give up, how we define. Taking my chances, breaking a climb. I'ma show them how it's done. On the top level we run. For Osiris, for my son. We show up and pack a punch. This is war. We step up, we gon' never fold. This is legacy, they gon' know me when I go.
So rain down all you want, but our power is in the sun. And when our planets do align, our nation will become victorious. Swords where you stand and spit upon the ground. But when those horns sound off, pray to the Lord, you've been righteous now. I say rain down all you want, but our power is in the sun. And when our planets do align, our nation will become victorious.
This is war, we don't stop, what's in store, where we start, we deploy. They don't wanna see us win, so we gon' show them all the voice. To the top, we enjoy, when my partners don't avoid. Want the glory, silence noise, here for life, made a choice.
The smoke clears the air. I'm the only one standing. The darkness lurks. There lies
Yo, YouTube, what's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another match on the Rise of Kingdoms channel. We have here Boba. Boba, how are you doing, my friend, today?
I'm good, bud. How are you doing?
Dude, I'm good. I just noticed up top, chat, that the teams are incorrect, and I apologize for that. But today we have 647 versus 1709 AX. Yeah, that's a doozer up there looking above. So chat, disregard that up there. The teams are not what they're saying above. But Boba, how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, man. We just came off of casting an absolute phenomenal match. I know the official Rise of Kingdoms had another doozy as well with JST coming from both of our casts coming from Horus Realm. But we're moving into Anubis where I know things have been heating up. We got a couple of teams today with WSA and AX that have been kind of going through the grinder in order to get where they're at right now. So I'm excited to see which one of these two teams is going to be eventually going up against either 60 GT or 60 MX in the championship round.
Completely agree, man. These two teams have definitely went through that gauntlet of getting to the top four, and this match is truly going to define who's going to go into the championship finals. just want to give a quick shout out to the last match that you casted. You know, those that know, I was from TR. We unfortunately lost that match against 1021. So shout out to them. Great game from them and great team. Great game to my team. Definitely a tough one. So congratulations to them making it to the next round of the finals. That
Yeah,
hurt a little bit, but hey,
y'all did a great job, man. Like it was one of those, like one of the biggest upsides with them is their mid game, and y'all gave them a run for their money, and y'all's occupation was really good. So
thank you.
nothing to lower your head on, and you know, yeah, y'all are continuing to succeed moving forward, which is always, you know, a good sign. So
Thank you,
I'm looking
Boba.
forward to seeing y'all for sure.
Thank you, man. But for this match, though, with
Mhm.
WSA and AX, as we have a couple more minutes until the match begins, AX is definitely the underdog based on this week's bet. I think it's like 4-1 or 3-1, one of the two, but it's definitely in favor of WSA. Um, Looking at some of the previous matches that both had, they went through the gauntlet, man. So like, what do you think? I mean, the community based on the bet are definitely saying that WSA wins, but does AX have a chance in this upcoming match?
So usually my kind of initial thoughts are I usually do the same thing you do. I open up, I check out kind of their history, who they've played. Because you know, iron sharpens iron. You know, the more you play those really, really tough teams early on and kind of progress through, it's only going to make you stronger, help your strategy, help your planning, everything out. And WSA has really looking at comparison between the two, it's not a shot at AX. They have no control over it. But the gauntlet that WSA has had to go through is absolutely insane. From RD2K to EE to Rays, all these are names that are just, you know, they're known for art, you know, and I think that's only going to come to help them out in this match. But I am interested and intrigued by AX because I did have them kind of as a surprise team this season, and them coming off of that 600-point win last week against Gas came
Yeah.
absolutely down to the wire. So yeah, I'm excited to see these two teams kind of battle it out. I've been hearing good things.
I've been hearing great things also, and there's a big power difference, Bobo, also between the two teams. I mean, WSA is at 4.5 billion points, power, and then when it comes to AX at 3.6. So I think AX is gonna be doing some healing today. I I'm I'm not a I'm
Y'all
very
would know
familiar
about
with
here.
that. Yeah, we know about that. So I definitely think I will see some healing from the AX side. But man, this is the match to get to the final. So you do what you got to do
Hey.
to make the next level because whoever the next opponent is, I mean, both kingdoms are from the 60s, 1960s. So
Mhm.
it's going to be a tough opponent. So you got to bring it. You secured top four. You got the city skin. Congratulations.
Mhm.
But now, who wants that bundle that comes out after the finals, and who wants to have that little trophy that comes in? You know, so
Mhm.
it's gonna be a tough one, man. But I'm really excited to see what these two teams can bring to this match today.
Yeah, and like you said, you know, you were talking about power difference, and I think at this as we get deeper and deeper and deeper into the tournament, you know, most of the teams, you know, due to KVK, all that kind of stuff, as we're gonna about to load into this match, um, it affects your troop power. It doesn't upgrade every single or update every single week, so they may have had more power than what it shows. But at the end of the day, if once you're in horse, especially once you're over 2.5, it's just a matter of how much healing you're gonna have to do compared to your opponents.
Oh,
And you know, the all important T5 that everyone should be running with at that point, you know, does make a huge difference. But the heal bills have been insane this season. So, but yeah, we're gonna be diving right into this match here in a
yes,
second.
sir. All right, chat. Let's make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as we get into the upcoming match for WSA and AX, and let's get this baby started. All right, Boba, we're tuning in here, man. Looking at
Hmm.
combatants, WSA, a lot of high power here, a lot of familiar names from both sides. Um, Oh man, and you know, AX brought it, dude. They definitely put the tags next to their names, man. They're ready to do this. They're ready to do this.
Yeah, you know, and it's always exciting seeing this. It's like the calm before the storm as the gates open, and then kind of I think all the nerves kind of fly out once everybody's you're already going, but right now the jitters, the hype, everything's real. These two very, very good teams making it to that top four important position. And yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy. I keep hearing good things about WSA's strategy and it being very unique
Mm-hmm.
and kind of unorthodox. So I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on that. because I did hear some things from RD2K and saying that they did a little bit of kind of micro stuff that was a little bit different that they had to adapt to. So that's going to be where I'm keeping my eyes on for sure when it comes to the rotations and strategy going through.
Yeah, man. So like one thing I did notice though from looking at previous matches, WSA is very strong in the occupation. So I really want to see what AX does here to counter that and at the same time control the mid game because WSA, based on what I've seen and as you mentioned, steel. What was that great thing you said? Iron on iron, like that, which was nice. I'm gonna take that going forward, my friend. Um, was that they went through that gauntlet and basically by going through that gauntlet, they're gonna just fine tune those fundamentals and I want to see what AX have been watching the game film, have they been preparing themselves for a team like WSA. So in next 40 seconds, we're gonna see what that looks like, and I'm hoping that this is gonna be a close one.
And as we see, I think Redline fell asleep again on the graphics, guys. So the we got a returning match. No, just kidding, guys. It's gonna be WSA. It is what we're showing you. But yeah, man, it's gonna be an absolute barn burner for sure. And we got 14 seconds, chat. Let us know who y'all think is gonna take this match. Is it WSA? Is it gonna be AX? Which team are y'all got going as we tick down from 5 until the gates open up, bud?
And great call there, Boba. Chat again. I apologize for the graphics not being completely updated for this upcoming match. No disrespect to the two teams here. We're definitely here for you. And I apologize. All right,
I love
Boba.
it.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're seeing some Chandras. We're seeing. I'm kind of keeping my eyes on WSA right now, just checking out their marches. Um, and I know you're on the flip side right now, which is going to be very interesting. What are you kind of seeing from their side over there,
So
Red?
I'm seeing there's 10 total 10 rallies, and there's rallies on all obelisks, which was normal to see. But we're also have to see some outpost rallies that are occurring from WSA side. So they're definitely going outpost here. So I'm really interested to see how what are they gonna do with those marches? Are they gonna let them hit, or are they gonna cancel them and maneuver them a different way? So WSA is definitely having a lot more action on their end from the starting point.
Yeah, 6. Whew, so many rallies coming out right now. And that's part of the strategy, you know what I mean, as opposed to the 4 coming out from AX, really being that disturbance when it comes. We could see a possible gate block. It might just be just marches just to absolute cause chaos in that back end of the opponent's side. I see the marches starting to get to the top side or bottom side obelisk for WSA as they ring in their first obelisk. But AX being the faster of the two, having taken that obelisk first. So it's not a game breaker at that point. But the sooner you can teleport up, the better for each team for sure.
Completely agree, man. And there's like about a 15-second difference between the top side WSA obelisk versus the bottom side obelisk on the AX side. So, I mean, not a huge game changer,
Yeah.
but those few seconds could maybe give you some forward positioning, but I don't think it's gonna be really a huge impact. Now, looking at the rally tabs here, um, on the AX side, the 4 obelisk rallies are the normal 2 rallies to your own obelisk to make sure you have a garrison inside, and then the 2 rallies on the enemy obelisk, one to possibly just let it hit and possibly disturb that, or cancel them and use those marches to defend your desert ultra. WSA obelisks. I'm really interested to see what they're doing with those outposts, man. I'm stuck on that screen, kind of going, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna push? Are they gonna let those hit and disrupt immediately out the gate? I'm not sure, man. I'm really excited to see what they do with this, man, because anything can happen. And WSA, I really think they're gonna put the throw a haymaker out at the beginning for some reason.
Yeah, and I'm looking bottom side. They got an Attila rally coming. The only downside with sending an Attila rally is it's a little bit slower than your XYs. So as we see, it's about 30 seconds away from hitting the bottom side, which I'm pretty confident they're going to let it hit. The problem being is the timing. Like we said, the capturing of these obelisks and the timing of when people are going to be able to teleport in. You got about 10 seconds for a rally to hit for you to clear it out before people start teleporting and just insta swarm this down. So it's a little bit slow for my liking as it's about to hit in 5 seconds. But I do like the play of the aggression, and we're gonna see with it hitting right now, how it's doing. They got a Jad to Garrison right now, so they should be okay, holding this bottom side obelisk with 7 seconds before they can start porting in.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, even though the white numbers do look in favor of WSA, I mean, AX definitely has enough troops there, hopefully around it to reinforce that. And as I'm saying that, on the opposite side on WSA, they also had a rally AX had on the WSA obelisk, but WSA was there easily to counter that and starting to teleport cities in.
Yeah, and I'm looking now. I'm looking at these outposts as we're seeing the rallies hit, and they're just getting swarmed down. So they did flip over one of the outposts, which is okay. They're trying to sneak out that first occupation with 30 seconds left before they can capture it. They may be able to get it. It's not a game breaker for sure, like we've been saying, but it's just annoying. If you're in your
Annoying.
back line constantly, as we see a second outpost get flipped, and it is what it is. But this Attila, look at bottom side, the Attila is winning against this obelisk. The Jad, somebody needs to reinforce it or they got a swarm. They
Oh
may
man.
pull this obelisk off the rip.
And that means, man, that delay of teleports. If they cap it, they get the WSA team gets more teleports. I mean, they really got to protect this. So I'm hoping that they're adapting to this play because this is a strong Attila Nevsky. So they're definitely putting in the work, man. And I hope that Kraft sitting next to there, unless he has a march in there already, is gonna swap it out when his low marches in the obelisk. But with
Yeah.
that, Boba, the altars opened up.
Mhm.
All four are red. All four are red. AX was able to get in first on all four altars. Up and WSA just flipped one, but still, that was a great play by them to be able to get in those and disrupt that timing on the WSA side.
Yeah, the thing I'm noticing from the AX side as they're losing these altars now is they just didn't have garrisons. I just saw bottom side of Zenobia get parked and wasn't there. Got swarmed down as a Joan garrison was there. So and now you see a Joan from WSA. So just like flip of a switch, all these garrisons are getting flipped. A Nevsky's topside desert altar for WSA. And as I say that, Zeno gets flipped in there. So uh, while it looked like a fantastic structural breakoff for AX with no garrisons ready, they're all flipping blue, and we could see multiple first occupations getting lost from AX. Oh man, it's looking a little dicey right now, and we got about a minute before I think teams are going to start rotating in towards mid.
Yeah, man. I feel like was that obelisk play that WSA did like disrupt I guess the starting strategy for AX and made them like, okay, we got to get this back, but then at the same time WSA took advantage of these structures and just took them like literally like I AX was able to prevent the first occupation on their bottoms desert altar,
Mm-hmm.
but man, I think WSA definitely took advantage of this because one, they're gonna get their marchers killed off, and then two, they might have a faster rotation into mid because of this timing.
Yeah, and this Attila is still it's
It's
still
still
going on
there.
this. It's still there on the obelisk. I was keeping my eyes on it, and I even if they take this, there's not going to be enough troops at this point. I almost would rather them just hop. Well, I guess not because you need those occupation. You need those teleports, and you don't want to give them more.
Yeah.
So you can't really give it to them on that front. But yeah, they were able, like you were saying, to avoid losing at least that first occupation for sure. On the bottom side desert altar. We got about 4.5 minutes. I'm checking mid right now. Nobody is there. So it's going to be very interesting. I do see the top side obelisk getting flipped, but it's a CC garrison. So oops, that one's going to get tossed here in a minute. But yeah, it basically reset the field. We're still gonna. I think first occupations are going to go. Actually, correction. I think with that points advantage, I think they snuck one of the structures out. Which one was it?
It had to be one of the altars at least. It had to be. But oh man, AX got that AX got that obelisk. That's gonna disrupt some stuff. And Bulba, as I said, that top side, AX teleported 2 cities forward on the top side on the WSA side. So we have a 96 million power player, AO top with the name AX top 4, and then we have AX Phoenix up there at 108. So I think these guys, what they're gonna do is continue to disrupt the teleport schemes, and then take. I mean, I don't know, man. Like I'm thinking at this part of the game, like, is this the play? Is this the play? Like, though this, I'm assuming the best thing they could do is what? Disrupt marches, continue to try to take that obelisk back and forth,
Mm.
which limits the amount of teleports WSA can have up top, and they're really blocking TP spots. So I'm really interested to see what happens here. Like, how are they gonna take advantage of the situation?
So the interesting part with this play is usually, ideally, when you have cities poured up, you're going to want those big mega whales, right? Because they're going to have those garrisons. They're going to have plenty of troops. Like, I think when you get to the 100 mil, you're going to see them just get rallied multiple times by WSA and then get supported out. And that's kind of the cleanup crew when it comes to it. Because yes, if you let them sit there and linger, they will just 5 march this obelisk to death. But the difference is when you're 96 million, right? You might be able to hold out for a little while, but you are going to be spending so many heals in an effort just to stay in the zone. So these two players by themselves could potentially do millions and millions of heals just to stay here.
Yep.
And as we say that, look at what they're doing. They're just 5 marching
And rallying him too as well.
and rallying him on that Osiris League top 4 player, and he has a Charles Garrison. Oh Lord, yeah, he's going to be out of there fairly quick. So that is ideally why you would want that, because when you have 200 million power players sitting in that same zone, they're just going to rally you 355 million. So it's a nice distraction, but you got to have a garrison if you're going to do something like that, and you definitely need to have troops. So.
Yeah, man, that's GG's for that guy.
Yeah, poor guy. Yeah. But as we're talking about that, there are more marches now pushing forward. AX being the aggressor in mid game right now. So we're gonna look with 2 minutes left before the arc spawns. I'm very interested to see how AX does in the mid game. I really do think that they need to be kind of the aggressors against WSA for sure.
And I agree. And they already are pushing because right now WSA is trickling in, but on the left side, it's all blue on that side. So they're definitely getting those occupation points away from AX. Now, let's see, does AX take advantage of this? Because having those two guys up top, I mean, one of them's going to get teleported to the home zone very soon. However, by doing that, that takes away 10 marches away from the middle. So, like, what does this mean? Like, was that the play? Because one, they lost the teleport, even though they gained some teleports. Like, that's 10 marches not going to be in the middle. And as I said, OL teleported out.
They're actually taking more than that, because what they're doing is it's kind of a mini gate block. It's not really a gate block, but they have a person who is literally just 5 marching or solo marching all these marches that are marching from the starting zone and getting them all yellow as they're marching through. So even as WSA are marching towards mid, they're going to have a bunch of half dead to almost dead marches coming through. So which should help their goal, as we had a minute before this arc's going to spawn. So and I know I saw that WSA popped some skills. Did AX pop some skills, Red? Did you see that?
I believe they do, because I believe they have mystical and war drums. Because looking at some of the marches, they definitely have the correct colors around them. But dude, with that, man, I think AX is taking the mid right now. They definitely have a lot more presence here. They're wiping WSA, and it could have been because of the WSA sporadic timings coming into the mid, because they were continuing to come in to the mid while AX had a lot more positioning. So I think AX is winning this mid fight so far.
Yeah, and as I'm looking at the starting zone, I was trying to see if maybe that timing disrupted the teleporting in, but I only see one guy who's all the way in the back right now. But they still have some powerful people, close to 100 million, 135 that are still in the very back, kind of waiting to port forward. But as we say that, right, AX, and this is kind of the give and take of, as we say in ARC, right? If you're going to dominate middle, the one thing you always got to worry about, and it's very hard to do, is worry about that occupation. And as we look at that map, Red, it is completely blue.
It's completely blue. AX needs to make the audible here. Okay, they have mid. They got the arc.
Look at the bottom side obelisk. Bottom side obelisk.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And they got a Zika in there.
They got a Zika, and they got 4 cities.
But look at the difference in the cities, though.
Yeah, there's a 355 million.
Yeah, you're not getting that big boy out of there. Like, he's gonna legitimately, his goal for the rest of the match, you may get those other two out, but you will not get that guy out. So his whole objective this entire rest of the match is just to 5 march this obelisk. For the remainder of the game, 5 March, 5 March, 5 March, disrupt everything. I would have liked to see WSA actually teleport badly, just to block teleport
Yep.
spots. But at the end of the day, you got 5 cities on the bottom side of obelisk. Um, we have seen this where y'all did it, and I know the SN back last season had to fight out of this. And effectively, what they did was they just let y'all keep hitting it, and let y'all kind of do the distraction. But that's kind of the play you have to decide on. Are you
Yep.
going to try to clear them out? Are you just going to say, hey, we're just going to ignore you and force you to have to use 25 marches to start marching out of Narnia? You know what I mean? The play has to be ready, as this Zika is looking absolutely filthy in this obelisk zone. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god! And even though AX has the arc, I mean they got a boot go running it though. That's gonna take about 3 hours to get there. Uh, but WSA is countering this, man. They're widening the gap because right now this arc is what 3,000 points, right? So if it's scored immediately, which I think AX might do because they're definitely not winning the occupation game at this moment, they might need to have a 3 arc game here. I think to keep this close because
Ooh, I
what do you
Sorry, I
think?
didn't want to interrupt
No, what
you.
do you think?
The 350 mil guy and that obelisk is doing the smart play. So he's not even 5 marching the obelisk to help it. He's trying to teleport all these cities out of this bottom zone. So he is just 5 marching cities at this point just to kill all their troops out. So it's the play is going to have to be made at some point. What they're going to do? I think they're already cleared one city out. Uh, oh no, they didn't. It just didn't show on my screen. But he is 5 marching everybody and is going to disrupt a lot of stuff. But I think if you're AX, you really are going to have to turn on the like you. There is no holding arcs at this point. Because the likelihood of you losing this bottom side obelisk is greatly increasing. As we see cities teleporting out, they're clearing room for new ones to teleport in. You need to start blocking it if you're AX, as you see the marches
Oh
getting dragged
my
out.
gosh! And they have, I mean, and the tough part is too, like these cities have Sun Tzu garrisons. I don't know if they didn't change them ahead of time, or they clearly don't have any garrison commanders in some of these cities. Um, yeah, this is a huge blow right now to AX because by having these cities here continue being disruptive, telling people out, and then even swarming lower power cities to force them to heal. That's huge, man. And man, with 40 minutes still left in the match, yes, AX has the arc, but what does this mean right now for those low power players who don't have the troops and don't have the speed ups to continue to fight on?
Yeah, and sometimes I know that we set garrisons because when you go to attempt to, and I know I saw it in y'all's match as well, they put weaker garrisons to not help the enemy kill their troops off.
Yep.
But at the same token, you're not planning for your
You're not playing for this.
obelisk to get raided. Yeah, so it might just be an oversight. Because at the end of the day, some of these players, well, they are the 75 that they're swarming out. The 100 plus probably have proper garrisons at this point, but a couple of these teleports are going to start opening up here in a minute, and one just ticked over for WSA, so we should see somebody teleporting in fairly soon in that spot. And oh man, the break off for AX is, it's looking dicey, and the arc carrier just got to the obelisk zone on the top side, because that Boudica was so slow, man.
Taking the
Oh
scenic
my
route.
goodness.
Just taking the scenic route,
Yeah,
Boba.
took the scenic route. Yeah, she needed the jet boosters, bro. It was, but WSA they are full send right now on everything on that obelisk, as well as that bottom side's getting absolutely crushed, for AX right now, man.
I mean, dude, with by not having that obelisk, right, and not having the teleports, like the support that this size structure needs is not there at the moment, right? They have to march all the way back from the base, and that's gonna take at least 2.5 minutes to get there. So, and with WSA pushing hard push, they're gonna just cap these occupation scores. If you look at the points per minute right now, nothing crazy, but as these things tick over, it's 540 to 250 in favor of WSA, man. So I definitely I think we're gonna see a huge gap in occupation score as these things continue to tick over the next minute or so.
Yeah, and we did see AX very very subtly take that obelisk back, but man, when you have everybody inside of that obelisk zone, it comes down to you need to I think right now the scramble is in, right? Everybody sees the occupation, they're worrying about it instead of going and focusing on these cities. If you are going to clear them out, if you're not, then we got a Richard Garrison. Oh man, he's 5 marching all these cities. It hurts so bad. It
He's
hurts so
he's
bad.
literally just swarming all these down, and he was 354 million, so he lost. I mean, he's 343 now. So I mean, I think it's totally fine. Uh, yeah, he's causing havoc, man, and that's what you need for this play, and it's working on the side of WSA. But as I'm saying that, they're swarming WSA cities out as well. You have Limpet swarming Benaki right now, trying to get them out as well. So there's gonna be some trading out, but I think WSA is winning this fight here in terms of disrupting the left side of the map.
Yeah, and I see AX holding the arc right now, and I honestly don't like it. I think at this point it doesn't become about timing anymore. You just understand that you are about to lose that whole bottom side, so you need to get as many arcs as humanly possible in this match to even keep this close. Because
Yep.
right now, once they capture this arc, they will still be at a deficit, but it will only be by 500 points.
Yep.
But the longer you hold this, the more likely all this bottom side is going to get cleared out and swarmed out, which means that you are going to have less troops going towards middle. So you need to actually act faster, not slower in this situation. Because right now I'm looking at Guan garrisons in this bottom side obelisk, so there is nobody here, um,
Garrisons at
and
all, yeah.
to garrison it. You know what I mean? And you're seeing them get swarmed down once again. Oh my goodness! Just absolutely. The heal bill for this game is going to be very, very, very expensive.
We're thinking of a 50 mil heal game.
It depends. If they get pushed out of the zone, it's all these guys are getting swarmed down to zero, so they're gonna have to heal in order to even play. And that was at like 40 minutes in the match.
Yeah,
It
and
was literally in the first 20 minutes, and you're having to full heal your entire it's going to be expensive. I'm thinking probably like 45, maybe 50. If they do give a concerted effort, AX is going to be healing quite a bit after losing all these players in the starting zone for sure.
I agree. And as we were talking about that, another player got teleported out. So now they have about what, three, maybe 10 players up here with 5 whales from WSA. So man, this bottom zone here is gonna be a freaking battle. But I'm surprised though that AX still has these structures in their name. Like it's surprising me because I would assume that WSA is taking full advantage and just taking all these structures with so many marches from AX trying to kind of get this obelisk back and forth from them. Like it's just impressive to me how they're able to. As I said that, but well, the Desert Ultra goes in favor of WSA.
Mm-hmm.
So this
And
left side, I don't know, man.
and you know what? The thing that I do like is that WSA may not be holding this obelisk to capture. They can easily just neutralize it, and nobody else is still going to be able to teleport for AX to come and reinforce this.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's the ultimate issue, is that they need to actually garrison this up, get more players up, and try to either one, teleport badly, right? And like if you're AX, you ideally want to get as many players as possible around this obelisk. But two, if you don't think you're going to get those players, you have those other players on your team, big boys, come and just absolutely kill all the teleport spots, as many as they can kill. That way they don't get cleared out as fast, but you also don't allow WSA to get more cities in. So it's kind of a flip of a coin at this point. There are so many marches in WSA swarming this obelisk consistently over and over and over again. But I don't know what the play is right here where they're holding this arc. I'm
Yeah.
baffled. I'm honestly baffled right now as what's going on, and why they're actually holding this arc. What is kind of your thoughts on that, Red?
Man, like I'm here shaking my head, like not being in their position. Like, okay, our left side is heavily contested, right? We got a 340 plus million power player continue to swarm our cities down, and teleporting people out. It's just being so disruptive. So like in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, guys, we need to get everything back, hold on to the arc, and keep it until we can really stabilize the left side, because that's where the problem is right now. I think that's what they're doing because let's play this out, right? They score it now. Resets the timer to what? Is it 8 minutes for the arc?
Yeah, correct.
Will they have enough time to have a solid position in the middle? Get there's people who are still in home base stuck there to get to the middle. Like would that be a detriment to their strategy if they turn this now? And that I don't know.
See, my initial thoughts are those players in that bottom obelisk going to even be there in 8 minutes?
That's a
You
good
know what I
point.
mean? And that's where it comes down to. You kind of have to make a decision. I think they made their decision. They're going to try to hold and reset this bottom side. The problem is they're not really resetting anything, because at the end of the day, this 300 and, well, now he's 337, will have so many troops to just swarm out all these cities, as we see him swarm another city with the Charles garrison. His whole objective is just to clear this bottom side out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, in 8 minutes, these guys are no longer going to be here for the most part, or if there are, there will be a couple of cities left to march forward. And so they're all going to be running from the starting zone, which makes it very dangerous, because then you can turn all these WSA on the bottom side obelisk and can just instantly run towards the gate and start hitting everybody at the gate. So, AX, by holding this, I think is actually helping WSA get more footing on the bottom side, which is why I was very surprised why they're holding this arc, because there is no resetting this anymore, because the whale that's down there is so big that you're not going to clear them out. So it just becomes about adapting and living with it, and just making sure that the enemy does not teleport more cities, as we see one WSA city get teleported out from the bottom side. But it took them over 15 minutes to clear that one guy out, and the other guys are even bigger than that one kid. So
Yep. And the 340 million power plus player just swarming other cities. Like this 82 million power player is definitely gonna get TP'd out. So like it's like just trading each other out. Like it's like, all right, you're gonna get teleported back. You're gonna get teleported back. It's just this left side is just a huge, huge bloodbath. And while that's happening, man, as the AX is still struggling to kind of stabilize this left side, like WSA just taking points from their Desert Ultra, just taking away, man, 150 points per minute. So it's definitely causing problems, because right now points per minute game is 680 versus 420 in favor of WSA, man. So like they turned in the arc, Boba. So the game's 3,000 point game. How is AX gonna contend in the middle, man? And that's my concern here.
my concern right now is that literally WSA has free reign to run completely free. As you look at the bottom side in between the shrine and the altar, the literally marches are marching across the entire field, not even getting touched, because of the amount of pressure that they are reapplying back onto that obelisk. They can't even get out of their obelisk zone to contest any of these structures, which is the reason why, even after capturing the arc, right, they held on to it for what, 5 minutes, 6 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
That points per minute is still 4,000 points after they had an arc that was worth 3,000 points, because they held on to it. So that's why I was very surprised that they held on, because at this point in the game, the only thing that is going to pull the pressure off of WSA is having to force them to rotate towards middle.
Yep.
And,
Completely agree with you on that one, man. Like, and I don't know how AX is gonna do that. I mean, the right side of the map, they're definitely stabilizing, right? They're holding the best they can. They're definitely maintaining those structures. Just the left side, man, and whoever in charge of that obelisk, oof,
GG's.
GG's, my friend,
And just
GG's.
being able, just looking at some of these structures, because of the free marching that's going on this bottom side desert altar, as we keep continuously seeing, they're able to march that Zico all the way across without getting, getting hit. As we're seeing it get swarmed, and all these marches are going to get facepalm. This is probably the best aggressive act that I've seen from AX on the bottom side, and it's still not going to be enough because of all these free roaming WSA marches that are just going to swarm everybody out, and with 6 minutes, we got about a minute before everyone's going to start rotating mid. And then you're going to see even more blue structures coming out, because AX absolutely needs every single arc just to even have a shot at trying to pull out the dub in this match.
And look at it, they just flipped the Shrine of War, so that makes the middle fight for AX, or just the buffs in general, just taken away from them.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is definitely, AX on the back foot right now, trying to hold off and trying to stay in this game. Because right now, all altars are in their position, both shrines are in their position. Well, AX was just flip that, but this is not looking good, man. This is not looking good. So, like, in your opinion, Bobo, what does AX need to do right now? Like, what's the call being made right now to stay in this game?
I would ideally, the best situation would be to reset those altars, because you can't afford for these them to hold 3 altars. The points per minute advantage right now is 6 times in favor of WSA. At this point, WSA does not even need the arc because just holding the altars for as long, even if they just send a couple to go and poke in the middle, AX is going to have to invest, right? They need that big surge of points. But if you're WSA, you may not even need to. You're 760 to 110 points per minute in favor of WSA. By time, hopefully a slow march grabs it. if you're WSA, you're kind of hoping for that. Yeah, you're hoping for that 10-minute walk time, so you can just scoop up all these extra altars and shrines and like it's going to be a bloodbath. And just based on positioning, I'm looking for AX to kind of push out. They kind of have to just say YOLO at this point for that obelisk. They need the mid game. I know that ideally you want structures, and that's not really the sound play, but holding that bottom side is going to be god near impossible with a massive whale in that starting zone. And so it comes down to needing those big point surges. You need to cap that arc, and that's where that first arc, holding it for 5 minutes, becomes kind of it hurts, right? Because you are going to need every second in this match. You're going to need 3, 4 arcs just to have a shot. That's 15,000 points potentially if you would have had 4 arcs. But even with this, they're going to have potentially 3, which is still 10,000 points. But I have a feeling that's still not going to make up for the occupation that we're seeing. But if you're AX, that's honestly the only play you could honestly make right now, as we see every single structure flip blue, red.
It's my gosh, like this hurts, man. This hurts seeing this, like because WSA, I thought at first that AX was definitely pulling a fast one by flipping those first touches and really kind of, you know, kind of just throwing off WSA. But then once that Attila rally started in the beginning, that just blew everything out of the water, man. Because now WSA is in full aggression mode, and this game is totally in their momentum because they have the occupation score, they have the troops because they're just swarming everything down on the AX side. Like this is not looking good for AX, my friend. And I I definitely agree with your point on what they need to do, but in my mind, looking at how the game is playing, and they pull it off, and that I don't know.
It's going to be hard because they are now going to be trekking the long road from the starting zone, because they can no longer get occupation down there. They can't actually occupy their obelisk to port in. And WSA are getting free reign down there. They have proper garrisons inside of that obelisk now. Especially with your whale being right there, you can literally just toss anybody you want in there. Because I promise you, he probably has almost everybody expertise out of his mind. But yeah, there's still 4 out of the 5 cities that were teleported in from WSA are still there. And now they are 5 marching the rest of those cities as we see them start to go down, and man, with 2 minutes left in mid, AX, oof.
And WSA just said we're going aggressive. They literally popped skills and just went in because AX is still trickling people in, and with those cities still coming from home base, that's gonna be tough, man. Like they're definitely going aggressive here. So can AX pull off this mid fight like they did the last time, and kind of continue to keep the score close by getting a second arc?
I will say this. It does look like we got a minute and a half. It does look like AX may pull out mid. They got a lot more invested in here. WSA popping Heaven's Grace right now. That's going to definitely help for sure. But, it's one of those AX popping to the death. Okay. Yeah. So they are invested in mid, right? And here comes the difficult part, Red. Even if you get it for AX, where are you running it?
Yeah.
Where are you going to run it? All the structures keep flipping to WSA. Where are you going to run it? To the starting city and the starting zone? Like it just. Oh man.
I mean, the thing I noticed too about the map that we didn't really call out was that AX has been doing a really good job at flipping those outposts. So they definitely are killing the outpost game, and the most secure area might be the outpost, because they can hold it so well. But with 2 to death pop, man, I think AX may take this one in the middle because WSA is trickling people in, but AX definitely has the head count in the middle, and I think they will be able to pick up the second arc.
So hear me out. Here's the interesting part. Even with as bad as AX's occupation has looked, if they are able to scoop this arc up, it's going to cut the deficit almost in half.
Yep.
Right. with 20-ish minutes, I suspect, will be left. That is plenty of time for a third arc, which is worth 4,000 points. So there is potential for a 7,000 point swing to come in if AX is able to swing the next two arcs,
Yep.
which doesn't seem crazy. You know, it seems crazy because of what we're seeing in that obelisk zone, you know, but AX still has a shot unless they pick it up with, once again, one of the slowest marches in the game. Just turn back around. Just get killed, please.
I agree. Just get killed.
They picked
Let
it up
some
with
of
a Richard. Oh, oh,
the like
just there you go.
maybe 10 seconds ago. 10 seconds ago, well, on the left side, they were able to cap their obelisk, which they
Mhm.
did just now, their desert altar and their shrine. They had it stabilized. But again,
Mhm.
that big power player is definitely causing a nuisance. You need to get those people teleported forward, man, because that timing of the march time is so detrimental to getting those structure back. But I hope that they can hold this, because what is it, 2 minutes to occupy it? Once you take it back, right? It's about 2 minutes, and there's still
Yeah,
no
and they're not
garrison
popping hard
obelisk.
push. Mhm. So see, and this is where kind of the stabilizing part comes in. I don't know if they even have a garrison lead on the left side anymore, right? They may, it doesn't look like it because every single time it gets swarmed, it has a trash garrison. So at that point, you may need to just march some garrisons and park them in the cities and then hop them in
Yep.
when you pull it, because there's no stabilization. It's just constantly flipping back and forth with no proper garrison. If somebody wants to flip it in, right, they can reinforce. But if you don't have an actual garrison in there to park it to stabilize, you're just going to see what we're seeing right now, which is just constantly flipping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Because at the end of the day, WSA doesn't need to occupy this thing. They just
Nope.
need to make sure that you don't occupy it so that you can't port in more cities and be closer to where the fighting is at. So
I agree. I agree. And honestly, like now, but with 21 minutes left in the match, these players on WSA side, they have 9 teleports, right? Would it be smart to teleport more people forward, or this is enough, and or do you continue focusing just keeping what you have here and just keep flipping it back and forth and maybe swarming these smaller cities out? Like, what's the play here for WSA?
you know, WSA, I think they're going to switch. They should just switch to occupation, because right now, AX, if you look at the arc carrier, are going to do you a favor. They're doing you a solid. They're going to run this arc all the way back to the obelisk zone
Oh man,
when they need to be like insta capturing arcs at this point, right? It just needs to just happen. Forget the timing, but they are taking the long route home, which is only helping the opponent. You know, at this point, I don't
I would have
like
scored it at the Shrine of War.
you just need to score this in the shrine. The guy needs to be called out saying, "Hey, just score it. We need this. We need the points, right? At this point, because you are down by almost what
Fast math, fast math, fast math.
9,000 points.
There we go.
You know what I mean? Like even the next arc is only going to make up 4,000. So holding this for 2 minutes isn't going to help. And this arc carrier, I think, is going to go down
Yeah,
too.
it's
So
gonna
that's
go
not going to
down.
help either. Yeah.
I would have scored. See, I think the play would have been to score in Shrine of War, get the
Mhm.
points up to 17K, and then give you enough time to score a third arc. Because
Yep.
oh man, like the occupation side of WSA on the left side, dude, those are gone. In my opinion, those are gone. You're not gonna get those back. So like you really just squeeze every second you can with this arc and getting a third arc to make this even close. 'Cause, man, Boba, this is 20 minutes of just nonstop chaos.
Yeah. And I think so. There's kind of an upside and a downside, right? When you teleport forward like WSA did on the bottom side. Okay. One, it's awesome if you're trying to distract, right? Or you're trying to port out some cities or you're doing that. I feel like they lost focus on that, which should be their main objective, right? Getting as many cities out as possible. Because two, the downside of it is you now have, or you had 5 players, that is 25 marches that are no longer engaging on structures in mid game, on buildings, which is kind of a give and take at that point, right?
Yeah.
If you're doing your job, you're doing your role, and you're zeroing out cities, then it's a plus, right? But if you're not doing that, all you're doing is you're committing a lot of marches to do an objective that you probably could do with one player.
Yep.
And that's kind of the problem with WSA. What they're running into right now on that bottom side is they're no longer focusing on cities, which is what I think they should be doing, as opposed to just solely the obelisk. And as we say that, they pick up the arc and literally are starting to run it back to the Shrine of War. We cannot make this up.
And he had a good 15-second lead time as he was
It has
running
a
originally.
CC garrison in it. It has a CC garrison in the shrine.
Oh man, oh, if WSA scores, this is GG. I mean, the points per the occupation score is in WSA's favor. It's a 10 almost 10,000 point lead with the points per minute boba 880 to 140. 880 to 140. Literally, as each minute goes by, it's like how many arcs? Like it's like in about 4 minutes, we'll have like just this arc cancels out.
Just look at the if they would have immediately ran it to this shrine, like we said, because they didn't, they have now wasted another 5.5 minutes as WSA are surrounding this arc. They've wasted another 5. We were talking about it when it was 22 minutes left in the match. We're now at 17, under 17 and a half, and they are nowhere near being able to capture this with the amount of blue marches that are surrounding this arc right now.
Yep. And the possibility of a third arc man is gone in my opinion. Like I think it's gone, and if or that WSA delays this arc and keep this at a two arc game, yes, they lost both of them, but the structure, the occupation that they've been maintaining for the last 40 minutes have completely canceled those out.
Well, at this point, if you're WSA, you don't even care about the third arc, right?
No,
Like
not at all.
you are now up by 11,000 points. Even if you give up and concede the last arc, which could be the play here, right? You just focus on occupation, just hold all 4 altars for the next 15 minutes. Even if they capture the next arc, the occupation, I'm gonna venture to say is gonna be like 15 to 16,000 for AX, and then like we could see one of the highest occupation like scores from an actual contested match. I don't mean like a giveaway where nobody showed and it was occupation 100% of the time. For an actual contested match, one of the highest occupation scores that we've seen in quite a long time on the side of WSA.
Oh wow, look at the screen now. It's gonna score it. Like he's right there.
Bro, he's running all the way to the back.
I would just score it. There's no point in holding, guys.
Oh
Man, this hurts a little bit. But
this
hey,
hurt.
you got the skin though. That's all that matters.
It only took it okay for them winning mid. It only took them 17 minutes to capture that arc.
Oof.
17 minutes to capture an arc that they completely cleared WSA out in 2 minutes.
And this whole left side of the screen, brother, has been blue for the entire match.
Yep.
Like literally entire match. Yeah.
I almost would prefer that they just flip the map. That could have been the play too for AX, right? If you're going to concede it, at least concede it and then push really hard for top side and try to flip the obelisk and turn the obelisk so that you own all of top, they own all of bottom. And then that sometimes is the play. It's a little bit harder once you get so deep into the Osiris League because they're such big players. So being able to do that is pretty rough. But you know, as we see, look at AX finally take this bottom side obelisk, but nobody ports forward. Oh my goodness. We got 6 teleports, guys. You got to port in. And as we say that, their marches are now blocking the teleport spots.
Oh man. I think the play would have been like or flip the sides. And as I say that, the person holding the arc has died. And someone's literally here from WSA picking it up. Yeah, I mean the third arc is gone, chat. Like with 15 minutes left in the match. God, boy, are you watching this? Like this guy pulls away with it.
I'm watching him run away, bro. I'm watching him run away. Run away. Oh man. Dude, this is absolutely brutal. Look at the CC. Look at how many marches are now getting pulled towards that CC as he's running it.
Oh my god. And the match is literally It's just then well, there's like even a siege going
Bro,
after the.
we have a provision march that is now swarming the CC.
Hey, any damage counts. Heal those marches around them.
Siege warfare.
Dude,
Oh
if they
man.
score this, they score
Pick,
this.
pick it up, Chandra. Pick it up, Chandra. Got this? You got this, chat? Dude, plays being made right now.
AX has the first pickup. There we go.
Yeah.
Gonna die though. Thing's like pretty much dead.
The CC. Oh, that was the CC that was
Yeah.
swarming, bro. Out of all the marches to pick it up, you picked the lowest one. Look at the blue guy over here on the left. He's just waiting. He has his XY. He's waiting. I want to see if this Joan. No, the Joan got swarmed.
Now the question is WSA is gonna send their people to, hey, go get this arc. If they
Bro.
score this, which I mean, it's WSA, like there's suicide troops sending it over here. But 13K point difference, Boba. With 12 minutes left, man, is it safe to say that this could be it for AX?
Yeah, 100%. It's at this point we're just commentating. Hopefully y'all are enjoying everything. But ladies and gentlemen, just before, do us a massive favor. If y'all have been enjoying Osiris League the entire season, make sure you subscribe to the official Rise of Kingdoms YouTube channel. We have plenty of amazing content coming out soon. Championship week starts next week. Best of 3. Got some absolute barn burners, so you definitely don't want to miss it. And don't forget to check both of our channels out. You know, Redline is a phenomenal content creator. And definitely go and check us out if you haven't already.
Yeah, thank you for that, Bulba. And also make sure to check out Bulba too. Bulba also is a premier OL caster, been doing this for a while now, and does it on his personal channel. He definitely was streaming our loss in the TR side, but I know he did amazingly well. So make sure to check out my guy on his channel as well. But Bulba, you know, look at this match, man. To me, I felt like this obelisk was was the arc for some reason, because this thing was so contested for the last 40 minutes, man. And they're still going for it. It's like nothing else matters but this obelisk.
Dude, we are now. I just can't. I can't fathom this. We are now 24 minutes into that arc capture. It took 24 minutes to capture the arc, when they could have just ran it to the shrine. Yeah, just it blows my mind. And now with that being capped, like we keep saying, 8-minute timer just reset. There's only 11 minutes left in the match. There is no shot that AX have, but at this point, we're looking at, a 9,000 point lead. But guess what? If you would have captured it faster, there could have been potential for another arc. That would have been a good swing. We could have had a 4K difference, which would have brought them to about 5, which is not, it's not an easy feat whatsoever to come back from a 5K lead whatsoever. But it would have looked a little bit closer than what it actually was playing out, because AX actually are doing a very good job in mid, considering the positioning that they have on the map. You know what I mean? Like, they're reinforcing from the starting zone. Bottom has been contested since the 42nd minute in the match, which is, they're doing a great job in their own right. As we see, provision killers. We literally have bottom side obelisk. WSA are sending provision marches out now. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Oh wow. They need that achievement, you know what I'm saying? But man, like, I mean, I think for AX, like, making this far is a huge, huge accomplishment.
Mhm.
But I definitely think this will be definitely a learning thing for them to kind of figure out, okay, what can we do to avoid this going forward? Because, once, like, like us in TR, like, we identify our mistakes, and then next week, I believe Arc of Osiris continues for these teams who are eliminated. Hopefully, they carry that over and then make adjustments to avoid these kind of because they did an amazing job in the middle. Like, I think they definitely honed in on those marches and definitely took advantage of when to push and when to clear marches. It's just little fundamentals and preventing things like this from happening in the future. And I think it comes down to awareness. That's what it really comes down to, right? Because you could easily hold your obelisk if you have the right players in place, you're aware of what's going on, garrisoning it appropriately, and to avoid people like 350 million power coming and disrupting your entire left side.
Yeah, and I think the difficulty when you're coming on the side of WSA, and we'll kind of go to the other side, because we've been championing since they did such a great job on this obelisk side. that there are definitely things that they should work on. You know, they are getting beat in mid by a team that is having to run from the starting zone.
Yeah.
So is it their march composition? Is it their skill usage? What can they do to correct that in a week? Because either one of those two teams on the other side of the bracket that they are going to be playing are even more strong in mid game. So you are not going to get a free pass in mid. And unless something like this happens against one of those two teams, which I doubt will happen, but hey, I could stand corrected. You're going to have to win one of these arcs. And right now, they're losing to a team that is having to run, like I keep saying, from the starting zone essentially to go and reinforce mid game. So
Yeah.
you're if you're WSA, it's a great match this week, but there is a ton to fix leading into the championship match where they will be playing against 60GT or 60MX. And I haven't been able to look at the score right now, but we'll definitely be seeing that very, very soon.
Yeah, man, because this won't happen against either of those two teams. If and when WSA advances, because again, 60GT has the players, has the equipment, they have the experience being former champions, and then 60MX again, they're pretty much 60GT, right? Like literally, they comprise their teams into two separate teams from their main alliance, and I really think that their their mindset is very similar. WSA has to realize, okay, yes, we did really well here, but what can we do to make sure that we can continue to have this type of pace in this game, but carry it over into the next championship? And again, it's best of three.
Yeah.
So in a way, I'm gonna assume that WSA will be the underdog in that match against either team. But if if they lose the first match against those other teams, like you said, iron on iron, right? They get to learn and look at the game film and hopefully make adjustments.
Yeah, and I went to go look at the scores right now. The 60GT and 60MX match is actually a couple of points different, but basically the same points that we're seeing in this match. So it looks like it'll be a WSA versus 60GT finals, and should be an absolute banger. You know what I mean? I think like I don't feel like teams can really learn against a team like 60GT and 1V and those champions until you actually clash with them,
Yep.
which is what makes it so intriguing when we made it. They made it a best of 3 because that first match is going to be an eye opener. I think WSA, you know, it's going to be a huge culture shock because you're going from fighting, you know, still some great teams. I think RD2K did a very good job against WSA, but the equipment advantage going in favor of 60GT, I think, is going to be kind of an eye opener for WSA, unless they're able to pull a play like this, which, like you said, I think is going to be very hard with the well-seasoned, very seasoned team in 60GT.
I completely agree, man. And again, the experience that GT has being champions as well and understanding the fundamentals of the game. I mean, you have players like Will, you have Dollar, you have so many players on there on that team that have been in this position before. It's that's gonna be tough, man. You're facing former champions, and you definitely need to make those adjustments, or you will get that culture shock when you face them on the field. Because I don't think something like that Nevsky rally out the gate is gonna last very long as it did today.
Yeah, you're gonna get you're gonna get one of the big boys of 60GT this five March swarm it, because to be honest with you, if that was to happen and you're one of the first teleport guys in, that call out would have just been made, right?
Yep.
It's hey, you're already going to be teleporting in. I need all 5 of your marches to swarm this rally, and it would affect them very little because they're already teleporting in. So if their marches die, then you know what I mean.
Yep.
It's one of those things. The call outs, the organization is going to be different. So you're not going to get caught off guard. That Attila never would have lasted longer than like 10, 15 seconds
No.
against 60GT for sure. But
No.
you
Not
know,
at all, man.
it is a good sight to see. I will say this on WSA. I don't know if it's because they're able to push as deep as they're able to push, but they have so many Zekas in like every single structure. So they clearly have it kind of, you know, built out where the players that have the garrison commanders are able to garrison, which is good to see on the side of WSA for sure, because they're going to need that next week.
Completely agree. And man, as with 4 minutes left in the match, minute 11 until arc. I mean, the AX is taking mid again, man. They're definitely doing a great job. I mean, score, man, if they scored that first arc earlier and the second arc as well, there could have been like what solid 10, maybe 11 minutes left in the match. Safe to
Just
say.
think, Actually, it would have been almost twice as much because think about it. They sat on the first arc for what was 5 to 6 minutes,
Yep.
right? That's 5 to 6 minutes that was wasted. The second one, it should have been captured within like 5 to 6 minutes of it spawning, and it took them 25 minutes to capture. That is
Wow.
over 30 minutes of wasted time. We could have had 4 arcs in that moment, which would have been if AX looking the way that they looked, that could have been a 4 arc match at 15,000 points. We would be looking at a very, very tight match right now if it had not been for all the wasted time that was expelled,
That's a really good
trying to
point,
run the
man.
arc.
That's a really good point. But look at the map, Boba. Where would they put it? That's the thing. That
Hey,
where would they put
yeah,
all those
you ain't
arcs?
lying.
Dude, man. But hey, before as the match comes down to a close, AX is pulling this last arc and could possibly score it, possibly not. Congratulations to both teams making it this far in Osiris League, and it's not an easy feat going to the top 32, top 16, top 8 and getting to this stage. It's very tough. So, congratulations to all teams. Even for getting the skin as well, it's a huge win. But really, for all your efforts, congratulations. And I look forward to seeing what comes next for the teams who are eliminated, what they bring in next year's Osiris League tournament.
Yeah, man. We've seen a lot of teams, and it's kind of fun to see each season as we see teams kind of pop up and progress and surprise, like 84 OF and
Yeah.
Horace, knocked out and really opened up a lot of eyes. TR making it in the top 4. We all knew that they were a good team. I know some of us doubters,
Oh,
so
100%.
yeah,
100%. You know what I'm saying?
I hate it a little bit. You know what I mean? I think y'all love the little tough love, though. I know TR,
You got to have it.
a little tough love, but y'all impressed as well. Blackjack making it to the
Yep.
championship. Against 1V. There was a lot of upsets this season. And I think with each season it's progressing more and more with new teams kind of popping up as they hop from realm to realm to realm to realm. I know that Fuzz building out a kingdom over
Yep.
there,
Yep.
for Osiris. So, and I don't know if they won their match. I haven't looked at theirs to see if they won. But there's a lot of Osiris League focus coming from a lot of these realms, which is always exciting to see. And I look forward for sure for the championship, eventually the tournament, the Grand Prix. We're just getting started, chat. So it's going to be quite a doozy for sure.
Completely agree, man. Like, I look forward to every year because new teams arise. Current teams continue to shine, and with every year that comes in, the league continues to grow, and the teams continue to solidify their presence in the Cyrus League. I mean, the in the horror swim, you have what 1V and JS 1V and Blackjack and 1021. And I believe this is 1021's first time making it to the finals. Am I correct there?
You are correct.
See, that's gonna be an amazing match. Uh, and then with GT here at WSA, I believe this is WSA's first time as well. So there's a lot of new challengers that are coming into these finals, man. So I'm really glad to see these teams step it up and make it and contend the champions and previous champions in these Cyrus Leagues matches. So I look forward to it, man. Excited for the championship realm, and I'm excited for the best out of 3 because that makes things a lot more interesting.
Yeah, and WSA, first time in there. We're looking for our first ever back-to-back champion.
Mm-hmm.
That is potentially up there as well, with 60 GT and with 1V. We've never had a back-to-back champion. So there's potential for it this season as well. But yeah, Red, as we tick down the whale in the starting zone, oh man.
644,000.
That's it.
That's it. No big deal. Oh, so looking at the breakdown, Bulba.
Mhm.
So the arc score 6,500 because they had both, but the occupation score, woof,
Yeah.
that just canceled everything out, man. And they still provision on the WSA side.
Mm.
And look at the kills. Oh man, dominating that end. Oh, but the healing though. 25 million still a lot, but
Oh, that's not as bad as we thought.
I was thinking the 50, but hey,
Hey, they
congrats to
still
both teams.
AX still got 90 million kills. Like for that's nothing to scuff at. I definitely thought it was gonna be way less. than 90. But hey,
Completely
that's
agree.
a monster. That's a monster of a match for sure, man.
But congratulations, WSA, make it to the finals. Congratulations to GT to make it to the finals. I didn't see the other rounds, but congratulations to the finals as well, who are making it to the championship. Boba, it's been a pleasure again, my friend, casting with you. Community, everybody, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Make sure to like and subscribe to the official Rise of Kingdoms YouTube channel, as well as myself and Bulba's channels. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. Peace out, everybody.